Senator Rosen.
Thank you. Well, you actually set me up for my next question. You didn't even know, but I want to thank you for the testimony so far, because cyber isn't an add-on or service adjacent anymore. It has to be part of the fabric of everything we do, woven in. And talking about data, I always say this data tells a story if you know how to listen to it. And so I hope that we can maybe have a hearing to talk about how we think about data and its role in everything that we do going forward. That's a separate issue. But I actually want to talk about the service members, to what Senator Rounds was talking about. So I have two questions for you, General Hartman. One's on the regular force, and the second one's on the Guard and Reserve. So the first one, can you talk a little bit how you build a fully qualified cyber operator? What does a training pipeline look like at service and joint level? And what kind of on-the-job experience is required before they can be deemed fully qualified? And how often do they, I guess, have their benchmarks taken, I guess, if you think of it like that?
Thanks, Senator. And so each of the services produce a cyber operator, and that's a blanket term. We have a number of different specialties across the force. And then we, Cybercom, supervise what we call work role training. And so if you're an interactive on-net operator, you go to a specific training course. If you're an exploitation analyst or another specialty, you would do the same thing. And we work through a process that allows them to meet a series of benchmarks and then become fully qualified. Once they become fully qualified, they execute a series of operations and move from basic to journeyman to master level of qualification. Historically, we haven't produced a lot of operators at the master level because the training and the certification process has taken too long. And part of Cybercom 2.0 is how do we reduce that training timeline and allow them to focus more on operations, vice less on qualifications. And so I think we have, over the years, reduced that benchmark, but you get trained, you get qualified, you execute operations, you become a non-commissioned officer, and then you supervise the next group of people that we're bringing up. It is a process that works, but it doesn't work fast enough, and that is really the focus of 2.0 and the AgTech program.
Thank you. I want to ask a similar question about the skills of our National Guard and Reserve members. They're not currently tracked, it's my understanding, as the same fidelity as the active force, and so they're going to be a critical part, to your point, of bringing in the public sector, I guess, who, if you will, say it that way. So what specific steps can you talk to us about how you're going to ensure that a guardsman or reservist with those high-end cyber skills, they might be doing it in the regular world, their civilian career, how can they be activated for special mission? How are you working with that? Because I do think that is a big part of our pipeline and training. So whomever, whatever you want, both can answer, please.
Thanks, Senator. And so we do have organizations in the National Guard that are exemplars that we are trying to really use to leverage it across the entire reserve component. We've got the Delaware and the Maryland Air National Guard that is part of our Cyber National Mission Force. So one of our most elite organizations, really, for the last decade. We bring those service members on active duty, and they participate as full members of the team. To be honest with you, they bring deep expertise because when they're not mobilized, as you highlighted, they go back to civilian jobs. We have an organization down in Texas supporting our Air Force Cyber organization that again provides a significant amount of expertise. We have the same model on the defensive side. What we have to do is scale that across the force. We've got to get them all in JCC2R, our readiness tool. And we've got to be able to track them just like we're tracking our active duty service members.
Because you may, across the country, have each state may have one or two that are working in this area in their civilian life. And so how do we pull them in?
Senator, that is our plan. We are at relatively early stages, but as we build this out, that is our intent.
Thank you, Senator Rounds.
Thank you. And